Okay, we're gonna get started. If you have blocks, great. If you don't, that's okay too. We're gonna start in wisdom pose today. So coming to the back of your mats, separate your knees, bring your toes together, and reach your arms out in front of you. Take a couple of deep breaths here to lengthen your spine. Letting go of any tension and just focusing totally on your breath. Two more long, deep breaths like that. And when you're ready, press up to tabletop for cat and cow, bringing your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders. As you inhale, arch your back and look up. And as you exhale, round your back and really pull your belly in. We'll do a couple more like that. Arching and rounding your back. You can close your eyes, add anything else that feels good. If it feels good to wag your tail or roll out your neck and shoulders, keep that going. Especially when it's cold like this, it feels good to warm up all the joints. Let's warm up our wrists as well, turning your fingers back to your knees, maybe even curling your toes under. I haven't even taken my socks off yet because it's still warming up. All right, we're gonna add the hips. So bring your right knee up. Let's draw circles with our right knee in one direction and then in the other. Couple of breaths here, really try not to sink into the shoulders. So stay nice and lifted, tight in the core. And then we're gonna take that right leg out to the side for gate pose. So drop the leg, come up, and just take a nice big breath in as you stretch. From the side, it looks like this, just reaching. And we'll take a little side bend over to one side, feeling that awesome stretch on the left side of the body. Breathing a lot. If it feels good, you can even drop the arm, circle it around a couple of times. More breath. And then we'll go the other way. So now put your hand down. You're welcome to use a block if you want. And then stretch from fingertip to toe. Same thing here. You can circle the top arm. Couple of breaths. Breathing. Okay, we're going to stay on this side, but put our hand back down. So go ahead and close your hips. Hands come back to the floor as you reach that leg out. Let's do just a couple here, rounding our back and extending. Breathing a lot. After you do a few, get ready to hold the leg out. And we'll reach our opposite arm forward. Nice big stretch. Core super tight and active. And then if you feel ready, you can reach your hand back and go for tiger tail. Opening up the chest. Again, kind of not dumping, but lifting out of that shoulder as you connect and breathe. Bringing the hand back down, tuck this top knee behind the bottom knee. We'll just take a couple little circles here, maybe rocking the hips, breathing into the hip joints. You can even come down to your elbows if that stretch feels good for the hip flexors. All right, from here, let's uncross the knees. Press it back to melting heart pose. So you're gonna walk your fingers forward, keep your hips high in the air, melting that chest down, breathing into the shoulders. Long exhales, especially as we're just getting warmed up here. And then slowly bring it back. We're gonna do all that from the other side. So coming back up to tabletop, start with your left knee now, drawing circles in one direction, then the other. Breathing a lot. Lifting out of the shoulders. And then we'll take the leg down for gate. Drop the foot, bring it up, nice big breath in. Take the side bend all the way over. Don't stop the breath. And add some movement here. The shoulder, the wrist, tons of breath. Letting this hand come down, reaching the opposite arm up. Take a couple breaths. Inhale and exhale. All right, this is where we're going to bring the hand down. Lift the leg in the air, and then knee to nose. Arcing and rounding the back. Finding that nice big stretch out through the toes. Let's add the opposite arm as you stretch. And then perhaps reaching back for tiger tail as you kick up and breathe. Let the shoulders open. Wake up the back a little more. Extend and tuck the knee behind the other knee. Stretch out the glutes, the hip flexors, tons of breath. From here, lowering down into our elbows. Using those long exhales. And then same thing, we're going to untuck the knee and proceed to melting heart pose. Keep the hips high, make a little slide out of your back. Stay with the breath. Gently walk it back. Okay, we're gonna make our way to downward dog. I know we're a little cold, so take your time to get there. Your knees can bend, your heels can lift. While you guys stretch there for a couple breaths, just making sure, yes, everyone's out of the waiting room, perfect. Okay, a couple of breaths here. I think it's time to take off the socks. Deep breaths. Might take a little longer this morning for the hamstrings to warm up, and that's okay. Just take it at your own pace. From here, we'll walk our feet forward, right behind our hands, and grab onto our elbows. So let's take our feet a little bit wider apart, just so we've got a broader base. Go for a little swing here from side to side, or front to back. Try to really even out the weight under your feet. If there's any tension left in your neck and your shoulders, this is where you use that exhale to really release the tension. If you'd like to add a shoulder stretch, interlace your hands, take a breath in, take a breath out. Slowly releasing your grip. Let's go ahead and step our feet together here. Bend your knees and fold a little bit deeper, and then bring it all the way up to standing, reaching tall, 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 all the way up. Breath in, and then bring your hands to heart center. All right, so if you're not already at the top of your mat, let's go ahead and move forward. Shoulders are back, we're breathing a lot. We're gonna do our first flow to just kind of warm up. So inhale the arms overhead, nice big breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Knees can bend, we're warming up. Halfway lift, look forward, shoulders back. And then just step or jump it back to plank pose. Your gaze is forward, your neck is long. And then slowly bring it down. You're welcome to drop your knees. Cobra as you inhale, send those shoulders back. Bring it down, downward dog, curl your toes, press up. Long exhale here. Maybe an open mouth exhale if you're still feeling tight. Okay, let's continue. We're gonna take the right leg up to the sky, big breath in. Step it through for a kneeling lunge. We'll take our arms up to cactus here. So bring your arms up, bend your elbows, really open up the chest. Sometimes it feels good to close your eyes here. Just make sure that your hips aren't way back here. We want to really press them forward. So we're getting the hip flexor stretch for this left hip. Breathe. I'm gonna move to half splits. I have my blocks this morning. If you don't, that's okay. You can kind of just rest your hands on your thigh or on the floor. Maybe tapping that foot a couple times, just relaxing the hamstring and kind of stretching the quad too. Deep breaths. Okay, so now we're gonna bend this front knee. Put your left hand down and reach it back, all the way back. Couple deep breaths to deepen the pose. Bringing it back to the front for pyramid pose. So now, kind of similar to half splits, but we're gonna step that back foot down. So that's gonna be a deeper hamstring stretch here at the front. Let's see if we can balance our hips a little bit. And then with every exhale, try to fold forward just a little bit more. Shoulders are still back, chin and chest are reaching forward. Let's finish with a flow. Hands go down, plank pose. Take your flow all the way to the floor. Cobra or up dog. And downward dog. Push it back. Continue with the left side. Take it up. Bring it through. Drop the back knee and take those arms up into cactus. Open the chest. A lot of times we kind of just like sink right into it. So push into the foot, and that's going to give you a little more power and the ability to go deeper into your back warm-up. Half splits. Stretching the front leg straight. Using the blocks or the floor, whatever you have. Now we bend the front knee and take a twist. Reaching back. Soften with the breath. Let that shoulder relax a little. Bringing it back for pyramid pose. Straighten your legs. Drop the heel, rock the hips a little, and lower the torso down. Breathe. Shoulders back. Okay, let's flow. Step it back to plank pose. Slowly to the floor. Cobra as you inhale. And then downward dog as you exhale. Push back. Strong. Okay, we're going to amp it up a little bit. Right leg to the sky. This time coming up to high lunge. So bring it all the way up, 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 high. Ground. See how my front knee is attempting to be at 90 degrees. That's what we want. We want to get as low as we can. Shoulders are back here. And then let's add the arms. Bring them all the way up. Biceps behind the ears. Breathe. From here, open up your arms into a T. Sit a little bit lower. Keep that front knee at 90 if you can. And then we'll add a rotation. So reach your right arm back. It's okay to lose your balance. And if you need to, you can always drop your knee for more support. Breathe into it, guys. Go a little deeper. Let the intensity build. Legs are starting to warm up. Warrior two. Now we rotate all the way open, and that back heel goes down. Relax your shoulders, still going for that 90 degrees. Straightening our front leg now, maybe adjusting for triangle, Trikonasana, hinging at the hips. You can take your hand to the floor or the block as you take your gaze up. Focus on your breath. Feel your body this morning. Bend your front knee, reverse your warrior. Take your flow. Coming down, slow. Nice cobra. And take it back to downward dog. Let's do that on the other side. Left leg to the sky, reaches up. Step it through for high lunge. Balance. Front knee at 90. Let the heat build, focus, use the breath. Tee up your arms. Okay, let's rotate all the way, reaching your left hand back this time. Back knee can go down if you need to. Breathe. It always helps to take the gaze, to take the eyes with you. So you're not just moving your body, but your eyes are going to. Warrior two, drop your back heel, rotate, sit a little bit lower. You can feel the energy starting to build, especially when it's cold outside like this, your body brings that internal heat. Reverse your warrior. Let's flow. Plank pose. Chaturanga all the way down. Cobra. Back to downward dog. Breathe. Bring your knees down. This is a good time to grab a quick little sip of water if you need one. Okay, so we're going to progressively get a little more intense into the flow. We'll meet in downward dog. You can walk your way there. We'll continue with the right leg. So right leg goes to the sky. We're going to bring it through to low lunge. Stay right here with that back knee lifted. Ground your left hand and open your right arm up. Breathe. Try not to let this back knee soften. You want to pump it up. Feel that powerful energy out through the heel, through the fingers, and through the head. Breathe. All right, now we'll bring it down. Take a quad stretch. So reach it back. See if you can grab that foot behind you. If it's kind of out of reach, just bring your hand to your knee and try bending and extending a couple of times. Here's where the intensity is going to build. We're going to try to get our elbows down now. So bringing your hands back to the mat. I'll face you just so you can see what that looks like. You're going to bend and extend a couple of times. Some of you might be able to bring your elbows all the way to the floor. And if you can't reach the floor and you have your block, that's a good option as well. It's still going to take you lower than being on your hands. So you can bring your elbows to the floor or to the block. Couple of breaths. Now we're going to keep moving in the direction of this knee. So your first option would be to just take another little rotation, a little bit lower. Second option would be to move into side plank. So let's really build that intensity. Curl your back toes, pivot the foot, and slowly send that leg back. Breathing here. You're lifting out of the shoulder. Stay with the breath. One more breath. Okay, that same leg, we're going to take it behind us. So put your right foot back and drop down to your bottom. Sit all the way up. Maybe adjust on your mat if you scoot it off. And then we're going to take Madhachasana. So we're reaching this arm forward. Awesome shoulder stretch right here. You can just grab your foot. You can use your belt if you have it. Or I'm going to go for the bind. So I'll face you. You're just going to take this arm out to the side. First, just see if you can get it onto the floor so that you're getting that nice compression with the shoulder and the knee. The knee doesn't want to fall out. You want to keep it tight. From there, you can wrap it behind your back And then maybe add the other arm for the full bind. And then it's just about adding breath. Every time you exhale, you try to get your torso a little bit lower. Breathing a lot. I think, especially when it's cold outside, the hips are one of the main joints that we want to warm up because it just feels good. When you warm up your hips, you relax your back a little bit, you get some mobility there. So always a good one to stretch. Okay, so we're here in Madhicasana. We're gonna add wild thing. Go ahead and release, put your hand down, just extend, and then try lifting up and back into wild thing. You can try it a couple times, lowering and lifting, breathing, letting your head go back. And to come out of it, nice and easy. We're literally just gonna flip back into plank and take your flow or take child's pose. All the way through. Two breaths here in child's pose, get grounded. Let's add the left side, left leg goes up. Bring it through for low lunge, keep your back knee off the mat. Couple of breaths here, adding the twist. So your left arm goes up and we breathe. Remember that back leg is strong, don't let it drop. Tons of breath. Now we lower the back knee and we add the quad stretch. Grabbing the foot, or if not, just placing your hand on your knee and bending and extending. Let's continue bringing the elbows down, getting as low as you can to the floor, breathing a lot. Okay, here's where we added the twist. So you're going to take the left arm back up, maybe you stay there, or curl the back toes, go into side plank, lifting up, up, up. As much as you can, lifting those hips, breathing, stabilizing. Let your top leg come up and back as you drop it down. Sit up and we'll move into Madhicasana, reaching the arm forward and going for that bind. So again, we kind of just plug it into the floor. I don't know if you can see from this angle better. Plugging in, reaching forward, and then trying half a bind or full bind. Breathe a lot. Inhale and exhale. Okay, we're gonna go into wild thing. So take that hand back. Lift your hips all the way back. Again, you can try a couple of times, getting more momentum to press up through the feet. And then to come out of it, we just flip back and take your flow all the way through. Breathe, breathe. One more breath here. Knees come down. Okay, so we are now going to go into some deeper stretches. You can turn to face the side of your mat for Prasarita. Take your feet wide apart. And it's not a bad idea to have the block if you do have it. If you don't, that's okay. Just keep your hands as close to the floor as you can get them. Okay, let's adjust our feet so that we can bend our knees and really take our head between your legs. Use your breath. Rolling the weight forward towards the toes. You can scoop up your heels from the outside if you want. I'll face the side so you can still hear my voice. Couple of breaths here, bending and extending or lifting. Add on whatever feels good. Now let's just take our hands forward, like in a wide downward dog. So you're still with your feet apart, but you're reaching your arms forward and you're trying to get your chest low between your shoulders. Carefully walk your hands back in. Okay, we are going to try balance now. So turn to your right foot, pivot your foot to the side, and let's open up to triangle first. So here in triangle, we're really finding that glute stretch, that low back stretch, and just breathing here. To add a balance, we're gonna move into half moon. So wrap the top hand behind your back, bend your front knee, and this allows you to bring the weight forward. Try to eliminate as much weight from that back foot as you can before you spring up. So I'm gonna take my hand forward, over to the corner, start to get the weight out of the foot, and then it's effortless. It lifts off the floor. I can take my gaze down or up, but I'm not losing the energy in this leg. It's not softening. So that powerful energy is what lifts me up. And then if I feel ready, I can take the arm overhead and maybe lift a couple fingertips. It helps to really focus your gaze. If you start to look different places, it's harder to balance. So find one place to focus as you hold the pose. Let's stay here 2 more breaths. Just do your best. Slowly bending the knee to land. Awesome. Okay, let's take it to the other side. So pivot, and then pivot in the other direction over to the left. Come into triangle as our base. Breathe. And then we're gonna look down. Wrap the hand behind our back, maybe adjust your stance a little. Start to take the weight out of the back foot. Breathing. Hand goes down. Lift the back leg, powerful. Don't lose the energy. Breathe. And then if you're ready, you can add the top arm or start to take the weight out of the fingertips. Breathe. Let's stay here 2 more breaths. Softly landing. Turn the feet back in. Let's fold forward into ragdoll. So close your feet a little, swing side to side, front to back. Okay, from here, we're gonna bring our feet together. So tiptoe your feet together, come down into a little squat position, round over, stretch out your ankles, your calves. Breathing deep. If you're ready for a little more, separate your knees, bring your hands down in front of you, and then prepare for crow pose. You can simply stay here and stretch in Malasana, or if you want to try crow, get your hips up, bring your knees to your triceps, look forward, and start to transfer the weight out of your feet. Stay with your breath. Concentrate. We're not looking down, we're looking forward, and it's like a seesaw. As your head comes forward, your hips go up. Try it one more time if you already came out of the pose. Looking forward and slowly lifting up. Bring your feet back down. Let's come into easy sitting pose now. So crisscross your legs. A little bit closer. Here, we'll just take a stretch for our neck. So take the top arm over, opposite arm stretches. See how it feels to just kind of change the direction of your palm. Slowly. And then do the other side. Same thing here, rotating the thumb. Come back to center. Shoulders back. Now we'll take that arm overhead and gently stretch. You can stay here, or you can lower the arm and try to go for the bind. Working on interlacing your fingers, sitting up tall, and breathing. Bring your ribs back in, ground through your sits bones. And then slowly release, roll your shoulders out. Same thing on the other side, take the arm up, stretch. Add the lower arm if it feels good. Tuck the ribs in, ground the sits bones. Release your grip, roll your shoulders back. Bringing our hands to heart center today to finish. Think about a really warm light at the center of your chest. Take a deep breath in, and with every exhale, see if you can help that flame, that light, grow brighter. You're letting it glow so bright that suddenly it's from your head to your toes. You're filled with that warm light. You're radiating. Now it goes beyond your body, not just encompassed, but spreading out from you. With every exhale, let your heat fill up the room, let your light spread. For these last couple of breaths, let's imagine that we're sending warmth, comfort, and health to everyone in Laredo that might need it.